Can anyone please check like the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, if it's streaming now?
Yeah, I'll check. Wait.
Amiron,
Yeah,
should I turn on my camera as well, or like it's fine? You guys can do it.
no, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's working.
Okay. Rasraj, you can like share the link and tell them to join. Also, can someone also send the link of the like the live stream, YouTube live stream?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Amiran, my baby.
Excuse me. Could someone please let me know if I'm audible? I'm having issues with the Wi-Fi today.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay. A very good evening then.
افتح لها.
Hi, Dikshita.
audible?
Yes, Ron.
Yes.
Hello. Okay, so can everyone please turn on their camera? So before we begin, I would request everyone to please share the link for the YouTube live stream so that it reaches as many people as it can, because uh, we can only let limited number of participants in this G Meet. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on Common University Entrance Test and for undergraduate courses 2024, especially focusing on students from Northeast who wish to apply to various undergraduate courses under University of Delhi. This session is presented by the Study Circle of NEC. I'm Hamiron. I am the Study Circle head of NEC, and I will be moderating today's session. We are thrilled to have you here for today's session as we delve into the details of CUET-UG 2024 and as well as Delhi University admissions, a pivotal step in your higher educational journey. So we have speakers from our cell itself who have done extremely well in their CUT in the previous year, and here they are at Hindu College, University of Delhi. So they will share their insights and guide you through the process of CUT as well as Delhi University admissions. So today's webinar is divided into three parts. First is an overview of the CUET-UG process, including the changes from the previous year. Second is an overview of Delhi University admissions. Third is strategies for effective preparation and common pitfalls to avoid. So before we begin, a few housekeeping rules. Please keep your microphones muted during the presentations. You can unmute yourself when we ask you to, put up your queries. Also, you can use the chat box for Q&A. And for those who are joining us on YouTube, you can, post your queries on the live stream, and we will take it up from there. So let's kick things off with our first set of speakers, Rasraj and Doreen, who will provide us an overview of the CUET-UG 2024. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone, I'm Rasraj Thodam from BSc Chemistry Honors, first year, and I gave my CUET-UG last year after my board exams. So I hope everyone has already finished giving their board exams for class 12. Some might have taken a gap year or a leave year and found out things which they might want to do after class 12. So yeah, I'll just be giving an overview on what the CUET-UG process is. And first of all, I think um, the form for filling up for registration has been out, and the last date is on 26th of March. And I hope everyone has started filling their forms already. And just the general process is filling up your personal information, the details of your class 10 and 12 exams, the marks and everything, and also filling up the colleges and the courses which you might want to do. And I think most of you guys might have joined this webinar with coming to Delhi University on your mind. So, um, yeah, Delhi, would you like to say anything about this? So I think I'm going to be passing on to the next topic. I'm going to be giving the mic to someone else. So, yeah. Ron, you can start with the DUCSS application.
Okay, so our next set of speakers are Akshat, Samaksin, and Shekhar. They will provide us with an overview of the Delhi University's admission process. So the floor is yours. So you can begin with the session.
A very good evening to one and all present here. Myself Shekhar. I'm studying zoology honors first year. I'm from Dibrugarh, Assam. So I gave my CVT in 2023. By God's grace, I was allotted Hindu College Zoology honors in the very first round. So the entire step of getting into different colleges of DU is majorly given the name of the CSAS portal. It's a portal given by DU itself, and it's abbreviated as Common Seat Allocation System (CSAS). So after registering yourself to the CUET portal, and after the notification of CSS will come out, you will get to know that you will have to register yourself in the CSS portal too. There would be three further sub parts of how you would get to the final college of your dreams. So I would like to divide the entire steps into three different categories. The first step would be you yourself applying to CSS portal, also called the application to DU colleges. The second step would be preparing your preference list. It would be upon you whether you give more preference to being in a college of the North Campus or the South Campus, or you give more preference to the subject of your liking and your preference. And finally, the third round would be seat allocation. So the entire CSS portal, CSS and seat allocation system of Delhi University would be divided into three subparts. Application to CSS portal. The second would be giving out your preference list, and third would be your seat allocation, and either you giving it a freeze option or upgrading for a better option. So application to DU would start, I think, as far as I remember, it would start before the results of CVT are out. You'd get a notification that the applications of CSS portal has started, and you are further required to enroll in it too. The CSS portal would I would further after the webinar finishes, I would give you three links, if you remember it right. I would give you three links. The first link would be of the CSS portal of 2023. The second would be a manual given by the Delhi University of how to choose the subjects and how you might be or you might or might not be eligible for certain courses, because there are very strict regulations of how you have to fulfill the criteria to be able to study a certain course under Delhi University. So the information bulletin is very must for you if you are really dedicated to applying to Delhi University. And further on, the third, I will give you the link of Delhi University application. BPL certificate. I think I got a query if I'm not wrong. You guys are please welcome to give your queries if you have any. I would like it if it be a interactive session. Right? I hope I'm clear until now, or I haven't got any queries till now. After CVT, we have to apply separately to the university. Exactly. After CVT, you have to apply separately, and that's the thing. Even I was quite shocked about. Like I thought at the time of filling in the registrations for CVT, you have to give your name to different universities, right? And again, even after the CVT finishes, you have to apply for different universities separately on their respective portals. And please post it. Any tips for could I please finish up with that question? And for Delhi University, that portal is known as CSAS, Common Seat Allocation System. It would be your go-to portal for any queries until you step into your dream college. It would be your portal. It would be from the very first start of giving your preference list to paying out your fees. It would be the portal you have to. Can you share the link for the portal, please? Yes, I would. I would, Utkarsh, after the session, and I would give you all the essential links that you need. And also, we are always open for discussions. If you need any guidance, we are always here for you. We are for you, right? So again, sources for English. Could you please explain what's that sources for English? I'm not really getting it. For then again, where is that? People are using compare. I think I was in the application to do, right? So after applying to CSS portal, it's like a common link between CUET. If this is CUET and this is Delhi University, CSS lies just between it. After giving CUET and before entering DU, you have to go through the CSS portal. In the CSS portal, in the CSS portal, you would have to register yourself with the CUET application number and your password you have given for CUET. That won't be changed. That would just be same as you have applied for CUET. Only the other requirements Delhi University would require are, as far as I remember, I think some documents, if I'm not wrong, and for else every document you have applied during your CUET application processes would be further given to Delhi University. So you don't have to apply for anything else. Yeah, please get the queries more. Excuse me, Ron. Could you please help me out? Where should I click to get out to read out the messages?
Hello.
You can
Actually, one of my friend wanted to know if there is like fees waiver in due like for economically weaker section people.
Fees waiver. I think at the time of application CSS application portal, you for every category student there's a fee of 250 rupees, and PWD or EWS I think there's a application fees of 100 rupees. As far as I remember, that's the cost. And again, for fee waiver, I'm not very sure, brother. I think because I'm a general student, so I'm not very sure of such merits, if any. Uh,
No, it's okay. Like my friend just like asked me a few days ago, so I was like, I'm not even sure myself, and I said like I don't even know if my friends are sure too. So
okay,
it's just
okay.
like that thing only. I mean, the EWS category only, I guess, like helps in like seat reservation. I don't think it helps with any fees related, does it?
Exactly, exactly. I do agree with you. I do also think that it's only for the reservation thing and
No.
something for the fees waiver fees. As far as I know, but
But
brother, I would like to.
someone is actually asking the same question in like the call messages, like talking about something people certificate or something. So can you kind of like give a like a proper idea about this thing, because you know students may get confused about it.
Sure, 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 sure. I think, can I take the questions if I may? Sources for English, will you discuss tips or
you can take up
sources for English?
regarding
Yes, yes, yes. The next
admissions right
next set of
now.
speakers would come here to guide you about the preparation studies. And I don't think that's my part. The further speakers would take on. What's the criteria for BSc in zoology? Okay, I could guide you on that. For prepare for the criteria for BSc zoology honors is you have to take 3 domain subjects you have studied in class 12. So if I'm not wrong, you might be a biology student as I was. So you must have given your CUET exams on physics, chemistry, biology, and there would be there you have to give your just English exam just for the pass of just for the sake of passing it. I think the just 30% criteria is to just be eligible for Delhi University. For science background students, it's a bit different for what it is for humanities and commerce students, because humanities and commerce students would be fighting for their seats for a total of 8 out of 800 marks, while we science students would be competing in around 600 marks. For with the only 3 domain subjects of physics, chemistry, biology, or physics, chemistry, maths, or other any subjects of your domain would only be considered, while the English subject, which is considered uh, as a subject of marks in humanities and commerce wouldn't be considered here in science. So your marks out of 600 would be your marks would be counted out of 600 for science students, and for humanities and commerce it would be of under 800. So if I say about myself, I got 537 out of 600 to secure a seat in here at Hindu College. So I think I was next again. It was about the preference list. Like for preference list again, for what I may guide you as well is not localizing all the courses you like just in a random fashion. There is a thing like, do you want to give more focus on being a student of the North Campus, or are you okay with just getting the courses of your one and still studying it at the South Campus? I'm no one to give any recommendations as to what you should do. It's your upon you. But again, if it was for me, I would have again gone for a sources if a course that would provide that I would get in a North Campus college than going into a South Campus. For me again, it was will the will the best of three criteria be considered if we choose four domains? Science student, yes, exact. Yes. It depends on what course you are trying to pursue. Again, it goes on to the question of Udesha, if I'm spelling it right. It would again boil down to again which course you are aiming for. If it's like I provide you the information bulletin, you get every information you require there, and I think you have still ample amount of time to prepare for the same. So it's not like that. We didn't get any guidance, so it was much tougher for us to get there. The whole CUT thing is much complex than the entire NEET thing also. So I think it would be better if you again go through it by yourself. So just to give yourself that little extra edge of confidence that you get through. Right. Then preference list. I was at the preference list, right? So for me, the preference list was like that. My very first preference was zoology honors at Hindu College. My second preference was zoology honors at Hansras College. Then third preference was botany at Hindu College. Then botany at Hansras College. I think that's a better way of dealing into the preference list criteria than just giving the same course and just going with the flow. Like many of my other mates who didn't make it to the North Campus, they gave their preferences like they chose the same course and just went with it with the first North Campus colleges, then South Campus colleges, then off campus colleges. But as far as I would like to say, I don't really recommend that. I think you should first give the course of your preference at the very first, then the course you'd get at some nearby college. Then if not the college is if not you don't get the college, don't get the course at some North Campus, you could get it in the South Campus, but I again would not recommend you that. Again, that's my perspective. Your might be wrong. I'm curious, for someone interested in research oriented science courses, what are some factors that might take Delhi University a good choice compared to institutes like ISER and IISc? Okay, I'd like to give you such I'd like to answer that question by saying that again, some of my friends are also at ISER, and not no one is at IISc though, but one of my friends is at ISER Pune, if you might know. From what I've known with discussing with him, it was like they do a 5-year integrated courses, if I'm not wrong. BASc or BAMS something. I'm not very sure of what the course name is, but they do a 5-year integrated course of bachelor's and master's together. And even the same course is being provided nowadays with under the NEP course and at Hindu College too, and Hindu College and all colleges of University of Delhi. Like for it was, I think, someone raised a hand if I'm not wrong.
I actually have a question.
Yeah, sure, sure.
The thing is, I've actually already filled out my forms.
Hmm.
I've actually already filled out my forms and submitted everything.
Hmm.
But the thing is, I made I guess you could say the mistake. It would depend on how you answer me.
Hmm.
For my preferred college, I added only just DU with the program I wanted,
Hmm.
the subject I wanted, and I didn't add any other universities. So will the CSAS,
CSS
or
portal.
will
Yes,
they
you are
will
very.
they still like provide me with what universities I can apply to according to my marks, even though I didn't put it as my preferred university?
You are saying so you haven't applied for some university. You intend to apply now at the CUET portal, right?
No, what I mean is for my preferred university in
Okay.
the application form,
Uh,
I wrote only University of Delhi, only DU. I only chose that,
okay.
and I didn't think to add other universities like as a second option or any other option.
Sure,
So
sure.
even if I don't add any other universities, will the CSS still provide me with universities that go along with my marks after the results are out?
Uh, I think the CSS portal is only specified for Delhi University. It's the very specific portal of Delhi University, and other universities have their own portals too. So if you further on wish to come to Delhi University, CSS would be the thing. But I don't think CSS would provide you with the application of going to other universities. It's only for Delhi University.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Uh, so so worry not. Just study for your CVT well, and I'm sure you'd make it to Delhi University.
Sorry. So it's not a problem that I didn't add any other extra universities for my preferred university.
Is there any specific university you have in your mind that you didn't apply for?
Well, all the universities I wanted are still under DU, so I didn't think of any other universities. Even till now, I don't have any university in mind.
Then that wouldn't be a problem, I think. But if you wanna get into,
Somek, you could please speak on.
yeah. So I was saying, sorry.
Yes, Somek, please.
Could you please move somewhere else if that's okay? There's something wrong with your network, I think.
Is that wrong on my
No, no,
on?
no. From her end.
Okay, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So I was just saying that for DU colleges, it won't be a problem. But if you want to get into BHU, then I think it will be because as far as I remember, BHU don't accept applicants unless they didn't fill out, they didn't, add VHU in the CUD registration form. That's what I've been told. Yeah. So for VHU, it might be a problem. But for DU, not really.
Not
I hope
really.
that clears it out.
Mm-mm-mm. I think it's all clear.
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Most. I think there are further more queries too. Should you just take in? Ron, if am I allowed to take more queries if you permit?
Uh, yeah, if you can.
Okay, thank you. I'm a PCM student, but I want to pursue BA for higher studies. So now I have to take PCM studies as a domain or humanities subjects. Could someone please elaborate on the question Anamika have? I'm a PCM student, but I want to pursue BA for higher studies. So now I have to take PCM subjects as a domain or humanities subjects. I'm not very
You
aware
have
of.
to give exams on the subjects that you have studied in class 12. If you'll take subjects that you haven't studied in class 12, then you'll be disqualified. And for the cutoff, we'll be coming to the cutoffs later. Please stay for a while.
Thank you, Samudra. What is the expected cutoff? If I had history in class 12, but I didn't appear for it in CUT, then can I take that as a major? So I don't really know. For the minimum criteria of getting into Delhi University, you must apply for all the subjects in CUT that you have studied in class 12, right? If I'm not wrong. So
No,
I
you
think
can like you
you
can
have to
choose.
you.
No, Shekhar,
Okay, Ali,
may I?
please.
Yeah,
Please,
if you even if
please,
you
Ali.
don't yeah, if you even if you don't appear for history paper, it's okay. You just need three domain subjects for getting into DU, like one language and other three domain subjects. So in these the three domain subjects should be the subjects you have studied in class 12, and I'm sure you have four subjects in class 12. So apart from history, you can appear for other three subjects, and the marks of those three subjects and the English will be considered for. And then you can take history major or any other BA courses.
Okay. Thank you, Arlie, for explaining it in such details. I'm a commerce student. So I think I'm done with my part. And again, preferentially, just know that don't freeze your option. Don't freeze the seat you get at the time of the phase 3, CSS first phase 3, until you get to the dream college. There's always an option for getting to the top college, top course you have aimed for. So please don't give up on the very first round. There are multiple rounds you have to participate in. So please just don't freeze. And there's a thing, the seat you get, you must accept it so that the DU recognizes that you are willing to take the seat. Please accept the seat. Take two pointers if from the session if you can. To accept the seat you get in the very first round, please accept the seat. If you don't accept, Delhi University will not acknowledge your participants in the CSS portal. Please at least accept the seat, and further on, you can upgrade or freeze to the option you would like. Please accept the seat. That's the thing I would like to be. Thank you, Ron, for giving me the opportunity to speak on it. I would like to further on to give it to the next participant. Thank you. I will wish
Um,
all of you very
Thank you, Shekhar. Akshat and Samaxin, like you can elaborate on like the BA courses, admissions for BA courses.
Yes, sure. So, good evening to all. Akshat this side. I'm pursuing my second year in English honors from Hindu College, and I belong to Guwahati, Assam. So, Shekhar talked about the portal, and I'd like to talk about the eligibility criteria for different courses. So, a brief overview would be that in CUET, we have a total of 13 languages, 27 domains, and one GT. And so specifically, I'll be talking about DU since it's a webinar being conducted by a DU college. And for other universities, like there's Tespo University, there's BHU, they have like different eligibility criterias and different requirements. So in the DU context, basically you need one language. It is mostly English or Hindi, but I think there are other regional languages. Uh, yeah, but the most common option is either English or Hindi. And then you have to take a minimum of three domain subjects. And like Arlie said, I think you have to make sure that your domain subjects are those which you appeared for in class 12. So I'll tell you an example. So there is this one friend of mine. He wanted to pursue Pol Science honors from Hindu College or in North Campus. So the mistake he made was that he basically gave the CVT paper for Pol Science, and he did not have Pol Science in his class 12, but he wanted to take Pol Science as a major subject in DU. So, because of this reason, if you include his marks with Pol Science, then he got a decent score of 730 out of 800. And with those marks, he could have easily gotten into anywhere in North Campus at least, if not Hindu, for Pol Science. But because he did not have Pol Science in class 12, and because he gave Pol Science in CUET, he was disqualified. And because of this, he had to instead go in through a different kind of eligibility. He had to make his admission through one language, one GT, and one domain paper, which is the eligibility for BA program courses. And because of this, he had to study BA program in basically an off campus college. And he's going to give CUET again this coming year. So, because of this one small mistake that he did, because of the fact that he took a domain paper that was not in class 12, he basically had to waste a whole year and then basically waste a whole lot of time, resources, everything. Uh, See, the thing about drop years is that if you can avoid it, you should. And if avoiding such small mistakes can make you avoid a drop year, then please be careful about things like these. So back to the domain part. So you have to take at least three domains, And as for GT, okay, so many people have this doubt: is GT compulsory for DU? So for most courses, it's not. For example, if you take all the BA courses, BA Eco Honors, BA History Honors, English Honors, for most BA courses and also for BSc courses, GT is in fact not compulsory. And if you are aiming specifically for BA or BSc courses, I'd even go so far as to say that giving GT is a waste of time, provided your aim is only DU. Provided your aim is not to go in somewhere else like Tezpur Uni or BHU, because those places do in fact require GT. So there are only a handful of courses which need GT from you. And I saw query which was asking the criteria for BBA honors. So BBA, yes, in BBA you need the GT. The BBA criteria is that first you need to have maths in class 12, and for CUET you need to have at least one language, you need to have one paper for maths, and then you need to give the GT. So one language plus maths plus GT, that's how you get into BBA. In, for example, say Shahid Sukhdev College, which provides BBA in DU. And then, even among the domains, there is a certain distinction, and you have to be careful about this. Though in domains, we have two lists. One is called list B1, one is called list B2. So, what list B1 has is basically subjects like accountancy, anthropology, biology, business studies, chemistry, eco, geography, history, home science, legal studies. Basically, most papers which are considered as core papers in class 12, they come under B1, under list B1. There are two lists. So under B1, whatever we consider as a main subject in class 12, most of them come under B1. Not most of them, all of them come under B1. Then we have a list called B2. So what B2 has is papers like entrepreneurship, fine arts, it has performing arts, it has PE. So basically the subjects which we sometimes take as six subjects. In especially in CBSE, if you're studying, we have this concept of a six subject. So we basically offer courses like entrepreneurship, like PE, which do not really have a lot of load, and which we think that if we score a bit low in our other class 12 subjects, then we can make up for that subject using the marks scored in the side subject, like the sixth subject. And since those are easier to score in, we think that it will be a good way to compensate for our percentage. So those subjects like PE, they come under list B2. So for a CUET, basically, out of three domains, you have to make sure that at least two out of those three, you have to make sure that at least two out of those three are from list B1. And the third subject, it may be from B2 and it can also be from B1. So what I basically mean is this: if you have three papers, if you are giving entrepreneurship, if you are giving PE, and if you are giving history, and if these are your only domains, then you cannot be eligible for most courses in DU. If I'm clear, you can't have two subjects from list B2. You can't have two subjects like entrepreneurship and PE, but you can have something like history, sociology, and PE. So it's compulsory to have two subjects at least from B1, and the third subject, it can be from either list B1 or B2, but please do not make the mistake of filling out two subjects from list B2, which is, like I said, those side courses like performing arts, fine arts, PE, etc. And I already spoke about the eligibility for BA, which is one language, three domains, and no GT. So one language, three domains, four papers out of 800 will be marked. That is the eligibility for most of the BA courses. Then for BSc honors computer science, for BSc honors maths, for BSc honors stats, and even for BA honors economics, we need one language, we need one paper of either maths or applied maths, and we need two subjects out of at least which one should be from list B1. So for eco, yes, even if eco is an arts course, for eco you will need maths. But again, eco also comes under commerce. So for commerce, it's a bit different. Under commerce, you have basically have two options. One option is one language plus maths plus two subjects like accountants, eco or bst. So you basically have four papers for commerce. That is one option. But the difference between ba honors economics and bcom honors is that for bcom honors you don't need to compulsorily have maths. You can also opt for BCom honors, provided that you have accountancy as a domain. So it's compulsory to have either maths as a domain or it's compulsory to have either accountancy as a domain. So this is the eligibility for BSc honors courses in maths, stats, computer science, BA honors economics, and BCom honors. And then you have certain courses which aren't exactly conventional courses, like you won't see many people doing them. For example, we have BA honors in business economics. We have a Bachelor of Management Studies. So, like the BBA courses, basically. So, in BBA courses, like I said, one language, maths, and then one GT. And rest, there are certain courses like Bachelor of Fine Arts and certain courses like suppose Bachelor in Hindustani Music. So these courses are exceptions because in these courses 50% preference will be given to the CVT score, and for the rest of it you'll have to perform. For example, if you want to do BA honors in Hindustani music, once you have given your CVT, they will call you from the college, and then you'll have to basically give a live demonstration of your skill in that particular art, in that particular music field. And that is how they take you in, basically 50% CVT and 50% performance. And yeah, I think that's all for the eligibility. And if you have any queries, I can take them right now. Okay, so there are some queries already from the chat box. I'll just take them quickly. So you are saying we can skip the GT if we are pursuing BA? Yes, yes, you can. If your sole aim is to do BA only from DU specifically, you can skip the GT. And then what could be a decent GT score to get admission in BHU? For this, actually, I'm not very sure. You can always do a search on YouTube because there are channels I know which cater to BHU aspirants only. Will the questions come only from class 11 NCRT books or from class 12 as well? So this depends. You have to be careful and you have to basically read the syllabus carefully. Please read the syllabus carefully because, for example, I'll tell you what I had for my CVT. I had English, I had sociology, I had geography, and I had economics. So for sociology, the whole component was from class 12 only. But for eco, it was mainly class 12, but there was also some portion of microeconomics. And microeconomics you study in class 11. So not many chapters. It's like the whole of class 12 plus 5, 6 chapters from class 11. So you have to be careful and you have to basically study the syllabus of whatever domain you're giving carefully. I wanted to ask whether for DU, BLLB admissions, CLAT 24. Yes, yes. For DU, BA LLB, the 5 years course, which has been recently launched, CVT does not play a role. It will be on the basis of CLAT score only. And DU still hasn't yet given like an official notice about the exact nuances of the admission. But yes, it will be on the basis of CLAT and not CVT for BA LLB. What if I took one language, two domain, and GT? Will I be in trouble? Can I resubmit my form? Yes, you'll be in trouble in that case. But I think you'll get an option for the form resubmission. I think, if I'm not wrong, they give you 1 or 2 days. They give you a window of 1 or 2 days to basically do some corrections in the form. They do usually reopen it. But yes, please take three domains, not two. You with two domains, you cannot get into DU unless you want something like BA program. You can still get into BA program with one language, one domain, and GT. But yeah, if it's an honors course, like I'm assuming, if you want an honors course, then one language and three domains minimum is a must, and GT is optional. It's up to you. What is the cutoff for history for general? Okay, so in my time, the cutoff for history in general was in Hindu college. It's approximately 775 to 780. Like my friend got 773 and he got into Hansraj and not Hindu. So 775 to 780 approx for history, at least in my time. And I don't think the cutoff, varies a lot over the years. But yes, if you want history, 770 plus, you'll be safe for Hindu college. What is the cutoff for physics in DU? I'm not really sure. I think one of the science people can answer this better. Cutoff for Paul Science in Hindu college, it's very high, 798, 797 point something, 798 for unreserved. So basically, you have to have the mindset of scoring somewhere around a perfect score for Paul Science in Hindu college. It's very competitive. For English honors in Hindu college, that is my course. English honors in Hindu college, it's 770. 770, 771, 772, somewhere around that range. It's a bit lower than history. So 770 and 770 plus, you'll be safe for unreserved in Hindu college. BCom honors in general, I'm not really sure. BA program, so for BA program, it again depends. BA program, for example, in St. Stephen's, it's very high. It's 785 plus. And for certain combinations in Hindu college, even like history plus Pol Science, the cutoff is higher. But then there's courses like history plus Sanskrit or Pol Science plus Hindi. So for those courses, usually it's a bit lower. And for psychology, okay, so first things, at least in Hindu college, we don't have psychology. But psychology, you should keep in mind that psychology cutoffs in DU overall it's very competitive. Even for colleges like IPCW, which usually have lower cutoffs for courses like English and all, for psychology, it's somewhere around 780 plus. Whereas for you could get into English in IPCW at like 730 plus, 720 plus. But for psychology, it's 780 plus. Even for Zakir Hussain, if I'm not wrong, it's like 730, 740 plus in psychology. So it's a pretty competitive course. Please answer this. I have to find. Yes, 60% in maths is compulsory. Okay, so I think the science people can answer this better, but unless I'm wrong, 60% overall is must in your boards to be eligible for CUET. And there's a cutoff for 50%. It's 50% for EWS, SC, ST, OBC, and for unreserved, it's 60%. You have to have a minimum of 60% in your boards overall to be eligible for CUET. Cutoff for even if I take GT, doesn't matter for DU, right? Yes, Dipandita, doesn't matter for DU. History honors cutoff for Hindu college. Yeah, like I said, Ankun, it's 775 to 780 in Hindu college for history, unreserved. Can we count GT as domain subject? No. No. GT is a separate section. GT is not domain. You can't count it as domain. After seeing the information brochure, I saw that for BSc honors chemistry is that, see, if I'm not wrong, Anupam, I think Stephens is a minority college, and so they have no reservation for OBC and all. So I think we can take up the queries later. I'd like to pass it on to Samexan if he has something to say.
So I will be talking about the preference list and how to make it. I would say that the preference list is a very crucial part of the admission process. So it has to be very meticulously curated because I'm not kidding, guys. Please be very careful with it because it might cost you your dream college. So basically, what you have to do is that, say, if you want to pursue BA history honors in Hindu, then you have to keep that course along the college at the very top of your list. And then if you're considering to like also pursue BA economics in Hindu or any other college in North Campus, then you have to keep them in the second order. Like in that order, you have to keep on adding the courses with the colleges. And also the thing is that say you score like well enough to get into Hindu and some of the main colleges in North Campus, but if you put BSc, say BSc Geology or BSc Chemistry, Hansras above BSc Geology Hindu, then you are most likely to get into Hansras in Hindu, even though you score well enough to get into Hindu. So, like I said, just keep like the college that you want to get into the most, keep that on the top of the list, and the other options below it. So yeah, how that's is one advice that I have for you guys, and the thing that you should keep in your mind while curating the list. That's it, guys. I hope that was helpful. I guess now I would like Ali and Samudra to take it over from here and talk more about the CUT prep.
Thank you, Samexan, Akshat, and Shekhar. Our next set of speakers are Samudra, Arli, and Rasraj, who will share the insight on the strategies for effective preparation and common pitfalls to avoid. So yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Thank you, Homer. Hello, everyone. I'm Ali, and I'm pursuing history honors. I'm from first year. So, like, your exams will be over by March end, I guess. So you can start your preparation from April. So you and the exam will be on from 15th of May. So you will have 1.5 months. So we can. I've got a kind of study plan for you, so that you can divide your studies for preparing. So this 1.5 months, you can divide it in three slots of 15 days. So in the first 15 days, I would suggest you complete the chapters which you didn't study for your boards. Like there will be, I guess, 10 to 10, 11 chapters which we didn't study, don't study for our CBSE exam. So you complete those chapters in the first 15 days. Like for 1 week, you study those chapters, and for the in the next week, you just revise those chapters. And in the next 15 days, you can study your whole course. I As you have appeared in your board, so I'm very sure that you are thorough with your NCRTs. So just revise all those chapters in the 15 days, the chapters you have studied for your boards, as well as the chapters you have studied newly. And in the last 15 days, give mocks, like by any compilation, any book, any like previous year questions, and also like mock papers. I use the Oswald compilation, and it's completely up to you what you want to use. Just give mocks. Giving mocks is like why I'm suggesting this will boost your confidence. Like, see, there will be one or two questions which are not from the syllabus. Like in my CUET, I had to avoid 4 to 6 questions just because they were not from the NCRT. So there will be questions like this. So if you practice those mocks, you will get to know your mistakes, as well as how can you attempt those questions, because out of 50 you will have to attempt 40 questions. And a common mistake when we'll practice mocks, you will get to know that sometimes we don't read the questions. We don't read the questions completely. We are in a hurry to complete the paper, and also sometimes we don't read all the options. So these are the mistakes you have to avoid while preparing in CUET. And how to study, I'll say, first of all, do not buy any guidebooks, or like don't go for any coaching, because the NCRT is enough. The NCRT is for your Gita, Bible, Quran, whatever you say. Just be thorough with the NCRT. While studying, look, if this is CUET, and in the boards we had to write long answers, but now you just have to be thorough with like small questions, and in the NCRT there will be like questions in every one or two sentences. So what I did, while I was studying the chapters, whatever questions I could find, in the end of the chapter I will paste some sticky notes, and I'll write those questions. Or you can write some terms, like for example, I can show you, um, like in the history book, there's Bhakti Sufi chapter. This is very hard. There are many Arabian or Persian terms which we need to remember, which like English meanings we need to know. So what I did was that sorry. So you'll have some sticky notes, and is it visible? I don't think it is. So okay, like what I did was, like in points, I wrote like Manika Vachakar, Robert Redfield. So when you are revising before starting the chapter, just open the last page, see those terms, and try to remember. Like if you know these terms, like do can you remember all those terms from the chapter? And trust me, like there will be many things you have forgotten. So that means you are not thorough with the chapter. So this is just a thing to test if I am like thorough with the chapter. So like if you see, like if you can see by seeing those terms, if you can remember all those, what is the context and what is this, then you can be sure that okay, I'm prepared for this. And then like main thing is now, okay, if you have given boards, and I'm not going to fairly like how for how many hours you have to study, if where you have to study in the morning or those things, because you have given two board exams, you know how to study, you know your study plans. So just be thorough with the ncrts, complete all those chapters which you did not study for your boards. And then like practice mocks, how many mocks you can practice. And I think there's someone is asking about sources. So first of all, for the domains it will be ncrts, and for english, as the questions are not from your English textbooks, so you can buy in guidebook if you want to. But there is a YouTube channel called CUET at the 24/7 okay. There is Rubaika ma'am who teaches like very good English. So I studied from her, and if any one of you wish to, I would suggest you, because like she covers all. I'm not promoting any YouTube channel, okay? Like, but she teaches really well. She covers PPYQs or etc. So okay, my English score, it was a bit lower. It was like 182, I guess. Yeah, 182. Because I was very weak in English, so I studied from Baika ma'am for like 1 or 2 days, and that's what I scored. Is it okay to just depend on Meghalaya board, or do I need to go to the You have to go to the NCRTs. The questions will be from the NCRTs. So like you have to study the NCRTs. Since I'm from commerce and took core maths in class 12, but in CUET both core and applied maths is there. So do I have to even study applied maths? Um, I'm not very sure about the criteria for commerce. I'm a student from Assam board, and two of my subjects are education and logic and philosophy. Both these subjects are not including CUET, so I'm left with one language subject, English, and two domain subjects, economics and political science. So I guess education is there. Uh, oh, I don't know. I think Akshat can guide on this. Do we need class 11? No, you don't need to study the class 11 books. Just the class 12 book. Questions will be from the class 12 NCRTs. Is it mm, for BCom honors, economics? I think accountancy and or maths is compulsory for BCom honors, not economics. 12 marks won't be considered. And like, 12 marks won't be considered for initially, but if they have two students who have like ekdam similar score for till there, the score is counted till point 7 or 8 digits, so there is no chance of considering the 12 marks. But if by any chance two students have scored ekdam equal marks, then they will consider your 12 marks, and the one who has more percentage in class 12 will be given the seat. Hmm. How do we prepare to get 780 plus out of 800 in SRCC? Like to score to score high, just go to the NCRTs well, be thorough with the NCRTs, and that's it. That you will score like a decent score. Get in North Campus, it's sports quota. I think that would be a bit lower in our scores, like maybe 700 or 600. I'm not very sure. Um, okay, that's it from my
Excuse
side.
me.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make one thing very clear. I'm not sure about the other subject, but for economics, like Akshat Bhaiya has mentioned before, you have to prepare a certain portion of microeconomics, which you study in class 11. So yeah, for economics, you have to rely on books that you studied in class 11. But for other subjects, I don't think so. Okay, yeah, that's just one thing that I want to be very clear
Yes.
about.
Yes, there will be other scenario reason questions. Yeah. Well, Uh, okay, that's all from my side. I will hand over to Hamudo Dada.
Thank you, Ali, and hello, everyone. Just to give a brief intro of myself, I'm Samudra Lashkar from Guwahati, Assam, and I've done my schooling from Marsha Vidya Mandir 4, Guwahati, and I'm currently in the second year pursuing political science honors from Hindu College. So, as beginning with the strategy, I would like to repeat what Ali said, that you have to be very thorough with your NCRTs. First of all, no matter if you're studying in the state board, no matter if you're studying in CBSE, you have to get through or study thoroughly the NCRTs and revise it as many times as you can. Now, for some of you might have the question that how many times should we revise or how we should revise. Now, one of the methods I personally relied on was the space repetition technique. If you are familiar with it, if you're not familiar, just search it up, because I think for revision you have to be very methodical, because and you have to remember facts or you have to remember things to make sure that you don't forget it, and you just can't study one thing one day and then revise it 10 days or 20 days later, and it doesn't work like that. So yeah, you have to first go through the syllabus, then you have to go through the NCRTs thoroughly, revise it as much as you can. There's no criteria that you have to revise this much, that much. Everyone's capabilities are different. You may remember certain things by reading one time. You may remember certain things by studying or revising 20 times. Doesn't matter. All you have to do is revise it to the point that you remember everything. And then, after completing the syllabus, after completing each chapter, search for the PYQs of CUET. As I was in the second year and I gave my CUET in 2022, I had no PYQs, and we were the first batch to give CVT. So what I did was I bought Oswald books, what Ali mentioned, and did mini mocks as I could. Because once you're familiar with the MCQs, once you know what tricks and tips you uh, works for you, then you'll be familiar with it and you'll be able to do good. Because MCQs are the type of question, or MCQ questions in CVT, the type of questions which you'll feel that two of the options are correct, and then there's very limited time to complete it. I mean, I think for the questions that you have to do, you're certainly given 50 minutes or 60 minutes, so it's very less time, and if you have to be very efficient with your timing as well. So as many mocks, it will be better if you can go through, like 10 to 15 mocks. For personally, I went with I guess 7 or 8 mocks, because I have very limited time. Our boards finished in June, and we had our CUD in on July, I guess. Yeah. So then after the PYQs and mocks, you have to remember that when you're going or when you have the exam date, it is one of the most important thing, that you have to be very confident in yourself. Now, when I went to the examination hall, there were many questions that was out of syllabus, and if I would have been nervous, I probably have surely 100% made it wrong. But what I did was I was very calm while giving the answers, and there might be some problems, the mouse not clicking as well, and certain things, but just forget about it. Be calm, be confident, and practice some mindful techniques as well, because as much as you have to focus on your studies, you have to also focus on your mental health as well, because the type of pressure you have after giving boards, after CUET, for the CUET, it's immense. I know, I've been went through. So yeah, after PYQs, mocks, you have to also focus on, you know, studying for the now for subject-wise strategy. I'd say for English, what I did was we already had our MCQ examination for term one, so we had two terms, term one and term two in our board exam, and I was already familiar with what type of questions there will be in English. So what I did was I studied from the YouTube channels, and since there are no, you know, no direct question for English, you have to make yourself familiar with, you know, the comprehensions, with the grammar. I personally went with Oswald and or Arihant. So you can buy any books you want, but make sure that you're confident, you study, and you study the questions, or you do the questions as much as you can. For the other subjects, I had sociology, I had political science, and I had history. So I scored 200 in all the subjects. And for, like, yeah, this is everything I wanted to say. So just be sure that confidence is good, of course, but overconfidence will ruin you. Even if you're getting 95 or 96% plus in your boards, doesn't mean you'll score well in CUET. I have batchmates in my 1 minute. What is the cause of for geography? I think there's no geography in Hindu college. Please make sure go to the CSS portal or go to the Delhi University portal, and then search for the subject you are interested in, or the course you're interested in, and there the colleges which have the course will be specified clearly. If you are having any problem, just contact any of us. We'll be glad to share the link with you. Yeah, and so I was saying that, yeah, I have had batchmates who scored 91 or 92% in class 12, but have scored full 800 out of 800 in CVT. So you have to know that this is a competition, okay? And this is a competitive examination. It doesn't depend on yourself alone. You have to work harder than the other person as well. And let me be very clear, let me be very truthful, that people of other regions are ruthless while studying. So you have to make sure that you revise as much as you can, that you study as hard as you can, because it doesn't only depend that you score 97 or 98 and then you'll get into. It used to happen till our previous batch, that if you score the same percentage, you'll get seats. They were like 65. If you have seen this number of seats, like there was 50 or 60 seats for political science in Hindu college, but since 160 students scored the same marks, they were all allotted Hindu college. But it didn't happen from our batch. So only people who had like what sources did you use for mocks for the domain today? I use mocks like I went with some online mocks as well. I also went with some offline mocks. What you can do is that buy some books like Arihant or any other book like Oswald, and then take a timer and then see if you can complete the question paper in time. My friend for the studies. Yeah, there's always some seminar or workshop or any lecture going on. There's always going on. Don't worry about this. It's one of the main things why DU is famous for. Yeah, so I was saying that wait, I forgot. Yeah, I remember. So yeah, you have to go with your confidence as well. So it doesn't depend what you are doing in your CBSE boards as well. Okay, so yeah, go have confidence, do as many mocks as you can, revise much as you can, study, and that's all. If you want to ask any questions or have any queries regarding political science, I'll be taking queries now. That completely depends on you. If you are willing to in a top college and by sacrificing your course, then go with it. If you want to study psychology and you want to pursue psychology, then go with a lower rank college, because it doesn't depend if the lower rank colleges are only offering psychology. If the top colleges are not preferring or not offering psychology, then you have to go with the lower rank colleges. For the political, there weren't any questions from class 11. It's only class 12. Be thorough with the syllabus, please. As I have already mentioned several times, make sure you download the syllabus. Make sure you tick mark every part of the syllabus with your books as well, because you need to be very clear about the syllabus. If they ask and there will be questions, okay, there will be questions which isn't in the book, so make sure your concepts are clear. International relations. Uh, See, the thing is, it comes under political science. So we have a paper called international relations. But when you are doing your masters, you can go for international masters in international relations as well. So yeah, I think this is all. So for cutoff part, I say what Akshat mentioned. It was 798 out of 800. It's very high. So you know what type of competition you have. For the reserved categories, I guess it's a bit less, but I'm not sure if it's less now. It was 2 years back, so I'm not quite sure. But make sure you study well. Don't just rely on reservation or any other, fact that, oh, I have to study less or anything. You have to study hard because, like 10 to not 10, but probably from 1 to 2 lakh students will be applying for political science in Hindu college, and only 50 of them will be getting seats. So yeah, you have to be ruthless in your studies as well. Be consistent, be sincere, and yeah, this is all what it takes. Thank you.
Yeah, so I had certain things to add to what Samudra said. So yeah, like he mentioned, there is very high competition, and other regions in the country work very, very, very tough, very hard. More than you can imagine. So it's necessary that you guys study properly. But also, what I find it important to add is that studying aside, it's also very necessary to attempt the paper in a smart way. What I mean by this is that there's going to be 50 questions and you have to attempt 40, right? So in the paper, it is not necessary that you know everything. It is absolutely not necessary that you have to know every single thing. So, at least in my own experience, what I did was when I used to do papers, like when I used to do papers, as in the actual papers, not the mock papers. When I used to do papers, I would divide the whole paper giving process into three steps. First, I would solve everything that I knew at once. So sometimes you see a question and then you're immediately like, yes, I know the answer. I know the answer to this. And then you can just immediately go and take the right option because you already know what the answer is. Often the question is a very simple and very straightforward one. Maybe, for example, maybe in political science, it will ask a year when a policy was implemented. Uh, like things like that, factual based questions. So in the first round, you basically go through the whole paper and you take only those questions that you know 100%. Right? Then comes the second round. Second round is for questions that it's like you see them and you can kind of guess what the answer is, but it's also a bit tough for you to like figure it out in one glance. And trust me, it works. It's not necessary that you will know the answer at first. For example, while doing geography, there were many questions where I felt like certain answers they need some time. It's like I knew the answer, but I had to like be sure, and I had to basically sit down with the question for a while, analyze it, and then write the answer. So first you fill the paper, you go through the whole paper, questions 1 to 50, you go through everything, and then you mark what you know. And then comes second round. In second round, you take those questions which you are partially sure of, then you sit with them for a while, you take some time with them, and you take time because you finish the first round very quickly. It's like if you know the answer already, you don't have to take a lot of time with it. Finish it within 10-15 minutes, whatever your time is. But just make sure that since your time is limited, you have to divide it properly, wisely, and you have to see what suits you best. But basically, in my case, what suited me best was doing the questions that I knew fast, in in like the maximum possible shortest time. And then I would sit with the questions I partially knew the answers to for a while. So this is round 2. By round 3, there's gonna be certain questions that you absolutely do not know, and or you only partially know. You get me? It's like if you know 50% the answer to one question, you might know 25% the answer to some other question. It's like you only know like a brief part of it, you don't know the whole answer. So selection is very important in this case, because it's like if there are five questions and you don't know the answer to all five questions, there is also no chance that all five questions will be equally difficult. There will be two questions out of those five questions that you know properly, that you know better than the remaining three questions. So you have to basically ensure, you have to basically see that what you are answering, it is the easiest of the lot. Easiest in the sense that it is the one you can answer best. In every single paper in CUET, you will see that not all questions have the same level of difficulty. Not all of them do. Some are very critical, some are extremely critical. And since you have, it's a privilege. It's a privilege in CUET because in boards, you have to attempt almost every single paper question there is on the paper. But in CUET, you have the privilege of leaving out certain questions. You have the privilege of leaving out 10 questions out of 50. That's a big number. So you have to pick 40 questions and you have to choose them wisely. And you have whatever you feel is too difficult, whatever you feel is too critical, too tricky, whatever you feel will take too much of your time, you just leave that question because you have the space to leave out 10 questions. So do it properly, select questions smartly, because besides what you study, how you answer them is also a big factor of how you give the paper. For example, in my case, I'll tell you, I had my paper on the first day of CUET. So it's like CUET, the first CUET paper happened in 16th July 2022. So that's when I had my paper. I had it on the first day. For the first time, CUET was implemented in India. So I was informed about the exam 4 days ago, and I had to revise four subjects. So I did not get the time to go through all chapters. I had to go through basically one subject, one whole subject in 1 day only, like eco in 1 day, English in 1 day, sociology in 1 day, geography in 1 day. So obviously I had to leave out certain parts. So what saved me was that even if I left out certain parts, I had the capacity to leave out those 10 questions. Whatever I didn't know, I would just leave them out, and I still managed to get well. And that's how you go about in the whole answering process. And also earlier in the session, I noticed a question about sources for English. So for English, what I used to do was, like when I got to know okay, CVT is going to happen, and I knew I would be giving the language in English. So what I did was, whenever I used to read something, anything, like anything, it could be a textbook, it could be the paper, it could be anything. And if I saw a word that was slightly difficult or I didn't know, what I would do, I would immediately, mark the word somewhere, and I would write them down, and I would look up the meaning, and I would do this immediately. Do not do this thing that you take some words and you wait, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna write 10 words and I'm gonna look up the meanings of 10 words later. Don't do that. You see one word anywhere in anything you're reading, you see one word, you look that up on the internet, you look at the meaning carefully, because the English paper in CUET, it's not gonna be like your English paper in class 12. It's like whatever you study in class 12 will help you in your CUET, except for English, maybe. Because English in CUET, it's specifically going to be about synonyms, it's specifically gonna be about meanings, about antonyms, opposites. So these things. So for these things, you have to have a very clear understanding of words, certain words which are not used ordinarily. So this is one tip. Like from now onwards, you have time until the mid of May. From now onwards, whatever you study, whatever you read, and I'd also suggest reading the paper. I'd suggest reading the paper starting from now until the mid of May. You don't have to like get deep into the news, but just look at the words being used. Take a look at the words being used, mark them down. Basically, build your vocabulary. You have a few weeks, develop your vocabulary, get to know more words, more meanings. And there's also a book I'd like to recommend. It's called Word Power Made Easy. I forgot the author's name, but it's a very common book actually. If you like go to any local store, even like a local stationery store, I think they will have that. It has a red cover. It's called Word Power Made Easy. I'm repeating it. So, Word Power Made Easy, what it does is it basically familiarizes with you with certain uncommon words, their synonyms, related words, word origins. So, if you just practice this book for like an hour, or even half an hour, or 20 minutes daily until your CVT, trust me, it's going to help a lot in your English paper. And so, I think that was it, like for the English preparation. And I'll just take some queries that I think Samudra missed. How did you manage your time in English exam for CVT? Okay, so Arshia, what I did was I attempted all the non-passage questions first. For example, the questions which had things like word meaning. So it's like for meaning, you don't have to think. You either know the meaning or you don't. So whatever were the non-passage questions, I would first attempt them quickly, and because I knew that the passages would take time, so I would complete everything else in like 20 minutes, and the remaining 40 minutes I would just try to sit with those lengthy questions, like the passage questions. So that's how I went about it. My English score was full, uh, 200 or 200. In the selection of college in CVT, do I have to list, if you wanted geography? One second. Can you please rephrase the question, Sandeepan? I'd like to answer you, but I'm not getting what you're trying to say in the question. Do I have to apply for both pure maths and applied maths for BBA? No. Anyone would do. It's an option between maths. I think it's you actually need only pure maths for BBA, if I'm not wrong. But it's not like you have to do both. If I click a wrong
Excuse me.
answer, if I click a wrong answer, then again I have to change it. Would I be able to do it? Yes, of course. Until the time limit runs out completely, before 1 hour is completely over, you have the liberty to change your answers. Of course you do. What sources do you use for mocks for domain subjects? Okay, so I think Samudra mentioned Oswald. So besides Oswald, there is one publication called EduCard. So EduCard really helped me out, especially in English and stuff. They have like a really good set of questions. So Oswald, EduCard, and a few YouTube mocks and stuff, you'll be good to go. I'm a table tennis athlete. Can you explain about sports quota trial for admission and considering it backup? Okay, so sports. See, sports seats, at least in North Campus, they aren't that many. First things first. So even for sports, you need to give CVT. It's not like you can skip CVT. It's just that even if your score is a bit low, sports trials will happen, and then if you do well in the sports trial, you will be able to basically get compensation. For example, one of my friends, he scored I think four, how much, 450 out of 800, and he's in Hindu English honors because he's a swimmer. He's a national level swimmer. So it's very competitive, the sports trials. There is very limited seats, but if you can do well, then yeah, great. So basically CVT will happen, then a few weeks after that, the DU will notify you about when sports trials are taking place. Someone asks, is English honors a good course? That is subjective, but I'll just like to say that English honors, it leaves you open with many avenues. Like in my class alone, there is people who want to go for UPSC, who want to go for MBA, who want to pursue academia, who want to get into publishing. So there's like a lot of options open for you. One of my seniors from the last batch, he got placed for 20 lakh per annum in a company. I think it is something to do with political strategy. I'm not sure exactly, but yes, English is a good course in the sense कि it's versatile. You can there's all because English. What I feel is that unlike specialist degrees like history or maybe political science, English it basically promotes a way of thinking, a certain way of thinking, and that way of thinking, that creativity, that way with words, the ease with language, it's going to help you out later. So yeah, good option. I similarly I fuzzily remember a quota also on the basis of certificates. Certificates of what kind? That's the question. Certificates can be ECA, I think of dance and music and stuff. BA Proc or honors better? I mean, honors if you want like a detailed understanding of the subject. Program if you say want to do UPSC and you feel like doing the subject in detail won't do you much good. So in that case, program. So it's up to you. Yes, Sandipan, I got your question now. If you wanted to do geography and I don't get a subject for, yeah, if you don't want to, if you wanted geography and if you don't get into college for geography, you can get other colleges for pol science and sociology and all if you fill them in the preference sheet. Certificates, no, Abhinav, because that is the thing. Certificates are applicable only in specific instances, like like a dance degree, like a degree in music, I think. So for example, like certificates can be like month certificate, it can be an internship certificate, so those don't help you in getting admission. They don't. Master in psychology with BA program, yes, yes, I think you can. I think this is all for the queries.
Yeah, I think so. Now I would request Rashraj to elaborate on science courses.
Hello again. I wanted to speak a bit on the people who are asking about the cutoffs of science courses. So, for science courses, I would say there's two categories. One is for PCB, which is physics, chemistry, and biology, and one is PCM, which is physics, chemistry, and maths. So, if you want to do chemistry honors, physics honors, maths honors, anything in DU, then you have to do the PCM combination. And cutoff for PCM is a bit higher than I mean lower than PCB. So for botany, zoology, and all, I would say the cutoff is a bit higher. So specifically in Hindu, I have seen that uh, anyone who gets at least 300 out of 600 will get admission, especially for this ST quota people. For me, I scored 440 and I'm general, and I got chemistry honors in the second cutoff. And if you want to do PCB courses such as botany, zoology, as the other senior might have told you, you need a bit more score. And about the internships, about these seminars and all, we actually have a lot of things going on. This week, especially in the chemistry department, we have lecture sessions which are being taught to us by our seniors from the DBT, which is Department of Biotechnology scheme. And we also have internships coming up, summer internships in pharmaceutical chemistry and all. And we have especially if you are an academic, like if you stand out from your peers and the teachers recommend you for doing research, especially for in our batch, the physical chemistry teacher recommended some of us to do research under him. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for science people in DU as well. And about the ISER and IISC stuff, I would say, yeah, as the other senior must have said, there's integrated courses, which are basically bachelor's and master's combined into a single course where you can do 5 years, and also you can do I think double majors as well. And in DU, there's for science people, there's a bit less opportunity regarding that. And uh, I would say if you want a bit more of a general way of studying instead of the technical way which is being done in either IITs and all. DU is perfect for that. And yeah, for science courses, the cutoffs are a lot lower. So I think most of you who are trying for science in DU, you guys can get into it easily. And yeah, that's most of the things that I wanted to say from my side. So if there's any queries, I can take them. And if not, then I would like to pass the mic over to Ron. Yeah, I think Ron, you can continue with the session.
So I think there are no more queries. So we have come to the end of this session. We will open the WhatsApp group chat. So anyone who has any queries can post their queries there itself. So I would like to thank our speakers for their invaluable contributions and all of you for participating actively in this session. We hope this session has been informative and helpful in your CUT-UG preparation journey. Uh, Remember, the key to success is consistent effort and smart participation. We wish you all the very best in your endeavors. Keep eye on the website of NTA CUT as well as CSAS for more resources and updates related to CUT UG 2024. And of course, if we have any sort of resources, we will share in the group. Hope to see you here at Delhi University. Thank you once again for joining us today and have a wonderful evening. Goodbye. Thank you.
And I guess I can share the links of the three CSS portal links in the group.
Yeah, yeah, sure, you can.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.